They were saying in the middle. But, which one's right?
What's up?
Do you go over your leg or do you go in the middle?
Well, you really just need just find your own wrist. I mean, I don't think you really need to go all the way over.
Get your head on the.
Because also, if you're coming all the way over, that means he's like you're lifting his hand. We want to minimize the amount of time that his hand's ever leaving his body, because then it's really easy for him to pummel that out right now to just extend and. So like I would just focus on keeping his hand bolted the whole time and finding your own wrist on the inside.
Right.
I think that's probably safer because even if he extends right now, your heel's going to be there anyway. So it's really hard for him to pummel. But there's an extra arm's length of space if you're coming over your hand too. So if he pummels in that scenario, you got another 3 inches there of space for him to maybe pummel back inside.
I thought you were going to your wrist. That's what I told him.
I'm going to my own. I'm just like finding my hand or my wrist.
That's what I do. That's what I meant to. Oh, you can't have that. You're gonna have to go a little to the side there, buddy.
Hey Josh, I'm giving you this tip. Come in like this. Half flex knuckles, not all the way, not a whole fist, but a half fist. Come in like this, where we enter here, and then we turn the corner. And then we can extend. Yeah. I can tell you why, but let's try it.
Are you coming behind the jawbone or are you coming right beside?
Behind the ear. Like right at the face of the jaw. Yeah. We're inserting here.
Because sometimes I feel like I'm just going like into their neck and not through like the throat.
Yeah, insert it behind the ear.
I need to find someone without facial hair to do it. I have to kind of find.
Everybody's bearded in here. He's like, I inside.
Mine's so optional.
Yeah. I'm just still not made.
Let's see, guys.
Yeah, I still seem to have trouble getting the. And
Get that near side wrist control when we fall over in Nevada.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a priority.
Whenever you're on the side, it just looks like a character. That's cheesy.
Big chest while you rotate.
it's better.
Allow your head to rotate with him. Elbow to pocket.
Yes. The elbow in the pocket.
There's a few things here. We need to slow it down a little bit because there's a few holes there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna skip the forward shift.
yeah.
So my first part is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. This is my primary. That's his primary defense down.
Yeah, so that's.
I can take that out. Really, here, it's like once you get the bubble straight, correct? You did kind of this, which is possible, but kind of unrealistic. Because as soon as I lift here, he's gonna aggressively extend. It's a good chance that if he really tries, he's gonna go to that. Then he's gonna go. I'm gonna lift here, shut down, keeping that contact the whole time. So it's harder for him to. It's like he's gonna be able to do it. It's gonna be enough time, but I need to slow it down as much as I can. And then I'm bolting this right back down. So it's like a. See this? And then here, we're gonna come in with our knuckle of our thumb first behind the ear. Come in, and then once I'm under the chin, I can extend the finger. I can walk. Once I'm here, all the way back. Put my chin on my wrist, not my hand, my wrist. My head is forward. Elbow in the pocket, allow my head to rotate.
Little different than what I do.
Slow it down a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm starting to try before we start. And yeah, the head on the wrist is a big detail because if you put your hand on the head or your chin on the hand and your head's not as far forward, then it's going to take some of the pressure out of that choke bite. When you go to rotate, it's not as nearly as effective as being on my wrist. Back here, there's like all the slack I can still take up.
You want to try? You want to try with me? Yeah.
She got the shrimps down quick after she planted her heel. She had the best one after she planted her foot.
Dance like she just like you think your body, like you think your body.
Yeah. Now reach back all the way towards the strike, kind of round the corner with your hand. Put your chin on your own wrist. And then elbow in pocket, rotate your head with them. Now you see how your hand's coming forward? I mean, it's not up yeah, it's slapped. So the hand doesn't move. Your chin goes on top of your wrist to lock that in place. Now move your head as you rotate your body. Yeah. About there. You can go a little deeper, but that's the idea. So when I come, like I'm gonna just just to demonstrate. When I come through on the bike, if you're even here, it's not a very good bike, right? But if I'm as far back and I round my hand as deep as I can, this is the money shot, right? Okay. Now and that's as I rotate, my hand doesn't move. You see how I'm moving? I'm using my spine. Yeah. Sorry, Brian. You're blue belt now, so you know you have to take extra punishment, bro.
I like to do it like that. I didn't
Camden, what's up, bro?
See on the computer now, like quickly.
Down.
I'm trying to get a feel for sometimes getting the heel in, especially with Chad, like right here. But maybe if someone was like,
Show me what. So go back to just double straight direct for a second. Okay. So we lift and get his wrist below the sternum. Okay. Well, you don't have to go all the way down, bro.
Yeah.
In fact, it's actually probably detrimental too, right? Just below the sternum is all we need. All right. But then this hand, the near side hand comes back up, right? Because we kind of pummeled it on top. So your left hand, yeah. So because we want to keep that stable. Now, can you point your knee out and your toes towards me, and your heel find your own wrist there? Is that possible? That's all you need right there.
so we're trying to figure out if it's right here or right here.
No, it's on the inside of the wrist. Well, try both, but I think, like I was saying earlier, I think if you go around your own wrist, you're creating an extra 3 inches of space there for him to, if he aggressively extends his hand, to maybe have time to pummel back inside the ankle and protect himself.
So from here, drop down to his hip.
Well, not down, yeah, we're down to this hip, yeah, and then we loop all the way down. We're trying to make contact with his back with our shoelaces. Right, yeah, because if you don't close that loop off, he can also pummel. Yeah. Now you have such long legs against short arms here. You also probably have an arm bar there if you get caught the right spot.
Really?
There's definitely one on the overhook side. But anyway.
Tell you like with this tap. Triangle.
All right, guys, let's get into it. Hey, just a couple of details because this is probably the last time y'all are doing these 10, this sequence. But I was just showing y'all. I was just showing them. Here, Brian, I'm gonna keep showing it on you, bro. New belt, new responsibilities.
Auxiliary.
All right, look, when I so just demonstrating this one-handed stringer, right? When I come up, if I'm even here, I'm not gonna have a good choke bite. Like even if I put my head on here, it's gonna involve a whole lot of trying to squeeze and like cut. And I'm gonna make a lot of space. I'm gonna get start getting my elbow floating up and not where it needs to be on the shoulder to keep it nice and controlled. Right? We talked about this before. I don't want my elbow starting to leave contact there. So like if I want a good choke bite here, what do we remember when we were talking about double coverage from the high risk position in front headlock series? Right? When we, even though it's from the front, like if I get my high risk position, the benefit of it was that I get double coverage with one arm, right? Well, here I don't really have a whole lot of coverage. So when that's why I'm emphasizing when you come back, when you round this corner and you start coming back to round as far as you can. You like here where I can put I start putting my palm like at the base of his neck, basically, as far back as I possibly can go. And then put your chin on your wrist. If I put my chin on my hand, there's still all this space. So it's really hard for me, even if I keep my head tied to him, I'm really just on the back of his head. So as I start to rotate and follow him, it's not nearly, it's pressure, but it's not nearly as much pressure as if my head is forward because my chin is locked on top of my wrist. This is much different. Lastly, when I go to apply that rotation, my hand never moves. Because look, if my hand moves, okay, I'm going to simulate this. If my hand moves, I take pressure off the artery. So that this is all like the purpose of putting my chin on my own wrist is to lock this in place. So in my hand, the wrist, nothing moves, but I start taking my elbow towards my pocket and I rotate my spine. But I'm not pulling my elbow out. That's super important. We're not trying to pull the elbow out. Right? We're not trying to crank the lawnmower here. We're trying to keep all this tension we have and let our spinal rotation do the work. Okay, does that make sense? If it's getting looser through the motion, then you're just wearing yourself out. And then if you get dumb, you'll start compensating and squeezing too hard. Now you're just getting tired for no reason. And it's someone tough, they're not going to tap because they're not actually, it's just uncomfortable. They're not going to sleep if you're only covering one artery. Okay. Anybody have a question about that? About that one-handed finish? Cool. All right, let's get into, let's play some camping a little bit. Let's play our outside camping. So I want you to start head on the inside of the hips and on the end of the lever, fingers pointed down. Ideally, here's fine, but I think mechanically, I think it's better fingers pointed down. I'm going to reinforce this grip here with my head. This is my starting position. As soon as I take my knee off the mat, it's on. He's trying to recover his guard, and I'm just trying to camp for as long as possible. Okay, so go. At any point my knees or my butt hit the mat, I lose. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
That was bad.
That was pretty bad. We're gonna have to redeem ourselves on that one. All right, let's go, guys. All right, switch if you haven't switched. Switch if you haven't switched.
Yeah.
Constantly trying to think you fix some rubbish shoulders and drive that far.
I knew I wouldn't have any.
Just for your head, it's time to fly.
There's a few gaps there. So,
Let's see the high leg, Josh. You got the links for it. Yeah. Good. Good. Good.
And your long limbs.
Sanctum.
Yeah.
You white devil.
What's up, Zach?
Okay, take it good at saying that bold. Yeah, I think I'm not too sure, but. Yeah, that's straight. I don't know if you realize, but you saw me start to feel a little burnt out. I'm slowing down, but. Man. Wow. Oh, he's so good. Good job. Right, I'm on this side. I guess the point is to try and maintain it. And I can be able to.
Left foot.
Yes. Well, like, maybe, yeah, I'll. Also, he doesn't think he can work. That's what you were saying. It's like, if you know you're doing well, is generally don't want to stop me. I just yeah, it's all. He had some great muscles.
I'll hit him up later. Time, guys. Relax. Relax. Good job. Good work.
I drink water on the empty stomach.
All right, guys. Let's hey, bring it in. Get your breath. Get your breath. All right. Let's see. We're gonna play a similar game. We're gonna play a similar game where I'm not camping. I could camp, but I am outside passing. Okay. You can pass you as long as my feet or at least one of my feet, my lead leg crosses his hip line at least 3 times on either side. Right? Let's see. You got to do at least one on each side. Okay. It doesn't matter the order. You can also do like we've done sport. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Now it's 3 touches, right? I want at least one of those to be on the other side. Okay. You could have 10 touches consecutively at one side. Doesn't matter. Once you collect your touches, and by touches, I just mean I'm not even saying you touch them. Actually, I just want your leg to have penetrated above the hip line. Okay. As long as you've done this, then you can pass, but you can only pass to north-south. You can't pass the side. You can't pass the mount. So after I'm here, now it's like I just got my 3rd touch. Now I can start passing. Okay. We can only go north-south then. All right. Once I'm in chest to chest, north-south, I win. If I didn't collect my touches, I lose. And also, if at any point he can make my knees or my butt touch the mat, I lose too. Okay? We're kind of playing timber a little bit too. Cool. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Redeemed.
What's that? Yeah, redeemed.
Feel that when you was touching my chest?
What's that?
Oh,
What's that? That was love?
can't say it again or else it's like not cool.
When I was touching chest myself? Not if you say it again, it's not cool. I'm gonna use that now. Yeah.
I gotta repeat myself, but it ain't cool, eh?
Remember, we're outside passing, guys. At no point are we putting our feet between the legs. Okay, outside passing only. Remember, if you're on top, you gotta try to control the ends of the levers. All right. All right. Good job, Father.
He's looking worn out.
He's playing in the long game. He's an expert driver.
We'll be here a little while.
It all counts. I wouldn't give a five. Yeah. Yes. And this is sometimes people are on some things.
It's crap.
Oh,
I got all curled up and then just had to get out.
Yeah.
Heavy on the cheese ball. It's okay, man. Wow. Maybe that.
Don't make me work for it.
I tried to see. Oh, that's what I'm not.
I go swing my hair.
Yeah, so,
Sloppily.
yeah, so you want like.
Time. Good work, guys. Except Zach.
Oh, right. That's 2 losses, 1. Thankfully, no, I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, he really lost because I crop dusted him like a little machine gun. All right.
Just Supreme Court approval for that bomb you dropped? I just know it is.
I don't think
I'm not quite sure what.
All right. 60 days, baby. All right. We're gonna do a background. Let's see. You said this one up.
I'm good.
Sure? I need to buy you.
Oh, sure.
Are you sure?
I use other than.
All right, you. Let's see. There you go, Chad. All right. Zach, Brian, Camden, Nevada. Then you're gonna round up.
Okay.
All right. We do a background, but I specifically want you to hunt. If you're a competitor, you know the straight jacket system we've been going over in practice. I want you running that. And if you're defending the back, I want you specifically going for these escapes you've been doing for 2 weeks. Okay, so if they lock a body triangle, you should know what to do. If they don't have a body triangle, you know what to do. If you're on the overhook side, underhook side, you should have some tools. If they have double unders, you should have some tools. So think about where you're at. Okay. Number one thing though is what? What are we always doing when we're defending our back? Number one battle, no matter what.
Protect your neck.
Protect your neck. 2-on-1 gripping, thumb post. All right. All right, let's go. We are hunting the submission, guys. Okay. Here, Cody, just run it on me for now. Actually, we're hunting the submission, guys.
Same thing we were practicing earlier.
No, you're just trying to solve it back however you can.
No, anyway.
Any way you can, bro. Yep.
I can tell I see it.
Yeah, don't cross your feet below my hips. Cross your feet below my hips on the inside. That's dangerous.
Actually, rolling past the thing. We got it. Roll. I would have tapped it. Actually, it was just rising along.
Oh, what I did? I feel squeezed hard. It didn't work out. Very good.
So it's below the hips. I think it's always not above. It's line right here. I'm okay. But that line, you can maybe watch.
My legs locked in.
Yeah.
Your long legs are a bit different.
James.
Good job.
Like you go for something there, like, oh yeah, there it is. I get off on.
But
I went for on bar. I'm tired.
it's the goal. Then
Job, man. Meeting bills. Let me try. Yeah, it's really equal. I mean, have to be.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Good job, man.
Great hand fighting.
Thank you.
Really good hand fighting.
I just never hit it quite. Hit close at one point. Yeah, that just never. Yeah. All my hard things. We got our head and shoulders fat, but I think it's like tight here. You were under, I think, but I reaching around and grabbing their head and look back in. I was like, keep my head back. Was the underhook stopping me too? Oh, yeah. I just felt like I could. Yes. I still don't win that battle. But it's still both. Like that's what gets you out. I was never. He just hit and they shot away. But I also had to buy triangle the whole most of the time. So like, you needed to really address that. Yeah. Before you, because you really only go so far. If I had a good body triangle. So I think you should have probably addressed that a little bit too. But you're addressing the hands, the head. You did the hands really well. Time. Good job. Get some water, everybody. They're really good hand line though. I was that sorry. It's Spider-Man. It's not fair. Like, you're Spider-Man move. Yeah. Here I am complimenting him. He's ignoring me. Thank you. My friend. Anybody got some good legs? Josh got some. I had a hard time. I don't know if it was like size, but like muscle. I couldn't muscle down to get the arm below the hip or below the sternum.
Yeah.
I attempted it, but I just felt my heel getting hooked like up here and not down here where it should be.
Okay.
I was also having a hard time being on the side out having, but then when we rolled over, I guess because I was something blocked up. The second we rolled over, he was out.
Okay.
I wasn't able to just like transition. I guess I should have went to like a double under, but he was able to hold my arm and I had to force it.
All right, guys. Hey, we're gonna keep doing back. Lots of pin escape like positional rounds for the rest of this month and next month. But we're gonna stay on escapes for probably another 3 weeks because we're really deep in mount this week and next week, and then we'll handle side and north south. We'll handle neon belly. Neon belly is kind of the easiest one to get out of, in my opinion. Leg locks are there just all day. So we'll spend some time on it, but we're not gonna spend as much as we spend on the back. And, we'll spend a good amount of time on north south. But anyway, probably the next at least 3 weeks we'll be on escape still. So I highly encourage you to come, especially if you're looking for a blue belt here. Like blue belt is the escapes are paramount. Like understanding the 5 pins, having some answers for all of them. Like defense is the key to, at least from me, the key to a blue belt. Attack's great too, but defense is the number one thing that I look for. Is how good is this person that's surviving. Any questions on the back stuff that from anything y'all have experienced? If not,
Strength matters.
what's up?
Strength matters. Like Zach Fan was just pushing someone's arm down when they're 100% resisting.
No, yeah, like, even with like I was able to still get my arm out and go back over and taco the hand. Now that part with college, I was gonna have fun, but you know, like
Well, that's how we shut down. That's how we at least make it as efficient as we can. You're always going to need some muscles, like on some level, especially if you're going against somebody bigger or stronger than you. Like muscles matter. Like whoever says they don't, it's lying to themselves. But the but we always want to make sure that we make the fight as unfair to them as possible by using mechanical advantage. That's why we taco the knuckles. That's why we grab the ends of the lever. And it's also why we think about timing. Like even when Cody and I were going, Cody did a great job hand fighting. I actually had a really hard time getting under his chin, like deep the whole time. I didn't get it. He managed to finally get out. I was like, yeah, my arms are gassed and done. He did a great job hand fighting, but the whole time that I was, even when the hand fight would, I would lose something, I was always coming back to number one. He's always coming back to number one of defending his neck. He was doing a great job with that. And I was always coming back to my number one, which is near side wrist control, try to hunt that primary defensive hand, cover the hand, cover the end of the lever. I was, figuring out what grip are we in, indirect, direct, all this kind of stuff. I know the comp guys, like if y'all been here, y'all know what I'm talking about. But the number one thing, besides where I'm gripping, that I was really trying to pay attention to was just the timing of, okay, I know when I make this shift, his wrist is going to be below the stern. I'm ready for an arm trap, but I need to sell it, right? So like, I need to do something else first. I need to get him resisting that way so that I can go with it, like whatever. But like, and then timing, because the timing plays a huge aspect. Like that's one of the 4 pillars of jiu-jitsu. You got balance, weight distribution, leverage, and timing. Like those are the 4 pillars of grappling. You master those 4 things, like that's what jiu-jitsu is. So like mechanical advantages, leverage, right, matters a lot, but timing matters just as much. Anyway, sorry. I'm just trying to put some more language to what I think y'all are communicating. Like the strength definitely matters, but we try to take it out of the equation as much as we can, especially when they're stronger than us. Which Cody was doing a good job of, right? Because I probably outweigh you a little bit, right? I'm 205.
185.
Yeah, so I've got some size and probably some strength advantage, but he was doing a great job grip fighting, mechanically, like grabbing the ends of the lever. So anyway, that's all I got on the back. If unless anyone else has a question. All right. Quick kipping review before we move on to the next form of kipping. All right, somebody give me some rules. Whoever's been in class, give me some of the rules of kipping here.
And get your elbows. Yeah, elbows. Inside.
Yes. Ideally both, at least one, right? Okay.
Be on the hip.
So I have to be on my hip.
Yeah, you want to be on your hip.
Yes. I don't want to be flat. Well, particularly for the lateral kick, yeah. It's actually not the nice.
Okay.
But yes, you are correct based on what I've said so far. All right, so I want to be ideally on a hip. And then especially if I'm going to take this across hip post for my frames. Here, much more likely that I keep my hips more square if I take those frames. But for this cross post, it's stronger if I reinforce it with concave body. All right, what else?
You want to get your knee to this tailbone?
Yes. What do I got to do before that? Bridge. Why would I want to bridge though? What's the big thing?
Center of gravity.
Yeah, tell me more about that.
Like when you bridge, then you concave, so this pressure is going not on you, but in void space. Bring that thing up there.
Yeah, I want to kip against its body weight because kipping's not that strong. I just want to kip against its feet. So first off, if you're going, it depends on like the level of the mount of someone you're going. If someone with a really good mount is going to, generally speaking, do a really good job of hiding his feet. So like, his feet are even going to be blocked at times. And it's going to be really hard to get on the inside. It's going to be like, it's going to be difficult. That's where kipping is especially useful. But kipping against his blocked feet is what I want to do. I don't want to be kipping against his whole body weight.
I'll
All right. So
What's that? Whatever you said that last thing.
So if you look, I don't know if you see speak, but generally speaking, people with really good mount are going to do a good job hiding their feet. They're not going to have like, it's like, I mean, you can kind of tell the difference in people's levels of like where they are with their mount retention. But like Chad has his knees spaced out super wide. Like this is it's like an amateur. Right? It's like on top of me, but there's no real control on my hip. It's very basic with his knees. So it's really easy for me to just hit me up escapes here. I don't need to get it. Okay. But the higher level mount guys are going to back feeling and hiding their feet and all of this stuff. Right? His knees are going to be tight. So when you're playing with somebody like this, it might be harder for me to get inside for the elbow escape because he's so tight at the hips and back and muscle stuff. But kipping is really helpful here because when I kip, as long as I'm not kipping, I can't kip against his body weight. I'll never win, but I can always kip against his feet. It's not that strong. It's just the lock at the feet that I'm fighting. But to do that, I do need the bridge to take me to the center and grab it off of me. So I've got my frames, whether it's double hip post or cross frame. Hit this bridge. Right, and then when I take it away, what do I need to do here?
Concave.
Concave, yes. You can't kip if you're not concave. All right, my butt's gonna come. I almost said booty because that's why I say kick class. My ass is going to come to the mat now that we're not in kick class. My booty's gonna come to the mat, and my knee's gonna find its tailbone, and my shoulders come up. Everything comes in and concave here. As he tries to push back in, it's difficult. It's not impossible, as we're about to show in a second, but it is difficult. If I have this frame is good. If I'm here, it's even harder for him, generally speaking, to push back in. This is just such a strong frame. Once I like really reinforced it with a concave body. Okay, now with my knee in the tailbone, my left knee in the tailbone. As I continue to keep my concave structure, the structure I built, and just trying to drive back in, I kip, and I work to the inside. If he keeps this cross face, which does happen, it's nothing. Don't worry, don't focus on this so much. Burrito grip in the armpit. Comes right off. Okay. Sometimes I don't even need these two. You can use two, especially if they're real strong. I really just, on the inside here, and I comb the hair.
So if they just double handed your head and
If he double hands my head, well, he's taking his base here, but he can. So if he does, I can still get it on.
if he did that and like stood up on his right leg, really
Good.
Can't go that way because he's hit this leg and pushing me down.
So let's say he does that. Let's try. Okay.
what would you say is the best defense then, to grab his head or to strip that top leg?
Oh, for him? Well, he just needs to recognize the threat that he's in. This is the main thing he needs to do. It's kind of futile for him. Unless I'm here, if I'm here, that's a different story. If he's crashing down and pulling my head, yeah, he still has a lot of inside position here. He still might be able to smash fast. But and I actually had this yesterday when I was going against Dustin. I don't know if y'all know him. He's a black belt from Forest. I was like really just trying. It was like it came down to this battle. My heel was right here, and it came down to this battle of was he going to be able to strip my foot all the way back first before I could get him to the front of his head, right? So I reached down to my shin and pulled it in. But that's like if I got this, it'd be foolish of him to be stacking because if he continues to stack me, his head comes over me. We come around this corner, come around this corner. We can go backside 50-50, or if his head comes really up, we can go all the way around to to Rumiyashi, or if his head comes really forward, we can go all the way spit under for cross-ashi. It's like coming into me once I have like a good leg entanglement is a bad idea on his part. And you've got to recognize that most of the time. And if it doesn't, you just take a leg up. Generally, though, there's really only those two directions that they can go. They either can, if you have a good leg, it really only brings his head. he can only really take his head away from me, okay? Or he can bring his head above me. And it's really the only two directions he's going to be able to go.
So he needs to work on the top leg and not worry about.
He really needs to, yeah, he needs to start stripping grips. Right, and then expect to get out and get off the chain. Because good people are gonna chill, right? So we've all been in these sequences before. So you know if you strip them, or if the top grip or any, they're probably gonna chain it to X. Or if one thinks they could do. All right. All right, let's drill a few reps of the stuff. I want y'all to take whichever post you like. You don't have to do the cross hip, you can. This is structurally better, a little more efficient, less work for me. Better if you're playing a safer old man's game, but it's less options if I need to go to other forms of kipping, which we're going to go over here shortly. But this is my bread and butter frame for all now. I almost never do this. This is something new to me that I'm trying to get better at now because I've always just done this. All right, take our frames. He's hiding his feet real well. Can't seem to get inside with the foot. My foot really is far at the elbow. So we're gonna bridge out to get his weight off top of us. So I'm bridging over my shoulder here. And his center of gravity pointed at the mat and not me. And then I take it all the way. Butt comes down. Tailbone, knee to the tailbone. Shin comes to my chest. Shoulders go out the concave. Okay? Here. He tries to drop back into it. It's pretty difficult. All right. Now as he's dropping back in, I bring one knee, and that's the only space I need right there. That much space, that much daylight to bring that knee in. Once I'm here, even if he's holding my head, whatever, go ahead. As long as I can make contact and I have a good bite here, he can hold as much as he wants. Close to the armpit. Okay. Cool. All right. I just review for most of you. All right. Let's hit 5, 6, 7 of these, and then we're gonna move on to a second form. Okay. 1, 2, 3. You good? Okay. You weren't ready.
I was having to do that with JC the other night. He rode me for like 4 minutes straight.
Small kid like you. Hey, do it slow. Do that bridge. Hold that bridge. Like sticking up very hard. It's like straight up. Yeah. Yeah. So you feel like you're at the top. Yeah. So like you shut that right. Everything at the same time. The butt comes right down and in. Knees coming to the tailbone. Yeah. All right. Let's put the knee in the tailbone and make it realistic. He's pressuring back in. Keep that hip post with your hands up. Right, that never left the hips. Now we're gonna put our feet and our knees together. Yeah, just do straight. Okay. Yeah. Guys, make sure that you tie imaginative rope around your knees and your feet, struggling your hip. You don't want to be like this. And we also definitely can't do this. This isn't kipping. This is kipping.
I know, man. He was catching me.
You get extra points if you knee up into balls. Right.
Chest got
That's
10,
very
man.
effective competition.
There's nothing wrong with a little accidental tap to the.
The refs never see it.
Yeah.
Brian was the biggest guy in the room.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh, that's sitting. Brian's sitting it.
Brian's not scared of anybody. Yeah, you want to get the foot up first. Yeah. Find your left cheek with your right shoelaces straight. Yeah, contact where your shoelaces.
Well, I'm protecting my ankle from straight. So I'm not trying to flare it. Oh,
once probably better I can't sleep or you can switch next to it, all right. But yeah, I think I sleep today.
So whenever I get right here, are you going for, like, you go back down? Are you going for?
Hills. Yeah, I'm gonna turn on the outside hill finish.
Okay, I'm gonna hide it like that. I'm gonna turn it.
I'm ready to tell it, but.
Yeah, you're in it's on the mat roll.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, bro. Lots of bad weather. Hey, you gotta do good eat together. Yeah, you gotta do that funny part. You're doing that because like you're taking a lot of space when you're doing what you had.
Yeah.
But Josh, I want you like girl, it's gonna hurt you.
No.
Okay, so if you're doing that because it's hurting, then don't do this. The way that this works though is when they're really attached to the feet and they're feet head to hips. And you can't like he's not giving you all that space. If you can get your knee and then you don't need to get obviously like but with that bridge, when you take that bridge away, your knees can start together. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just doing that because it was giving me so much space.
Yeah, let's see if I can make it realistic. Unless it's hurting you, I don't feel like I hurt it.
I can do it without it.
Well, just show me that like that doesn't hurt. You see how they still pay me for it though? Yeah, now let's hit the kip as he comes back and he'll try to come back in. You can like try to get back to the depth.
So with my now, here.
I just want you to get it really with the mic like you've got. You're in, making sure that the kip is like, even if it's just a drill. And it's hard to replicate, so like, you know.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, put all your weight down, basically, and then you can put these down. Yeah, it's even without feet to the mat.
Yeah, so that's what you would want.
Get higher.
Then, and then you can keep it all down.
And that's what I do, like, I feel like I hips, like, it gives me heavy on my forefoot, right from my leg. Feels further back from my leg.
Yeah,
Here, or like.
I really,
And then,
I would go slightly.
yeah, so like you go here,
And it's not as wide.
almost like, let me know when you feel it.
Yeah,
Right there.
yeah, that's good.
Good.
I should feel heavier. These ones.
Okay.
It was.
So I have to roll. Okay.
What's up, John?
What's up, fellas? Going. All right, everybody hit two more. Okay, everybody hit two more.
John the tree.
Yeah.
Yes, what's wrong with
Yeah, so it's kind of like. Two more guys, two more.
Get down there, so like this.
Hey, leave that frame, your frame.
Yeah, they're
Destroyed right now.
And then like, so
That's why you need that side.
like if you.
Hey, also, if you're taking boss post that way, you're gonna bridge.
So like this knee is in my butt. That's what you're.
So.
Yeah, I forgot about the road. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit like.
See that. Straight up more altitude, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, once you start it, you can't stop until you're done. I took a breath.
So you need to all.
That's why I never tried.
Yeah, that you
What'd you say?
Do anything? Will they stop match for that? Like your pants?
Don't worry, I just about that.
I guess it's.
My only thing.
Not due to me.
That's a damn tough one working on the.
All right, guys, bring it in, bring it in. I'm gonna give you all another one here. Kind of like a 1-2. Although technically the 1-2, if you want to think about like jab cross, the 1-2 of Mountain States is always going to be the elbow and kipping, like playing across the two. All right. Same deal, right? I got my cross post, or I have my doubles, doesn't matter. Although, well, okay, we'll get there. Here. All right, we hit him with the bridge. Remember, full extension bridge, not just like a bump. I'm not trying to bump him. I need this guy off of me for this to work, okay? So full extension bridge, meaning my head comes back, my spine gets elongated, my butt comes up, and I'm as far up as I possibly can. Okay, now I take it all away and go concave. Knees to tailbone. Knees need to come together. If they're out here, you're gonna end up doing this like dying floppy fish thing, and it's never gonna work. We gotta have our knees together, okay, and our feet together. You can even stomp your own foot like this, kind of interlace your feet if you want. Could even do this if you want, but I just need everything to be together. All right, now let's say he's been kicked on before. Okay, he's got a broken heart. He doesn't want to be kicked on. So he's gonna come back super heavy with his hips. And I'm having trouble. That's okay. As he comes back, he's giving me all this pressure. What's that thing we do in jiu-jitsu? When they push, we what? We pull. Yeah. He wants to go somewhere so hard. Great. Let's do it. But we're gonna take him further than he wants to go. So he's pushing in so hard. We'll take him further than he wanted to go. And we're back in here. Okay. Now, a couple caveats here. This is, especially if this guy is really good and he knows about the one, he knows that we can hit him on the other side, right? And he's real floaty, really good at floating like that. Then if we need to kip on the other side, sometimes you just hit a knee elbow because you take him further than he wanted to go. And we're just getting our knee elbow connection. We're good. But sometimes we're going to need to kip on the other side. And this is really not conducive to kipping on the other side. Okay, so if we've tested this already, and he's got real heavy hips, it might be a good idea, depending on who we're going against, to switch to this grip before we try again. Okay, so because this is going to give us greater mobility to be able to kip on either side. It's not as it's less efficient. It's a little more like muscular, right? When I actually have to hold somebody up for a second, but it will let us go side to side much easier. So here, I switched my grips because he shut it down. Now I'm going to hit that same bridge again. Take it away. He's coming back in. We go further than he wants to go. I still got my knee in them with kind of the elbow basically, but the idea is the same. Let's see if I can slow it down for a second. Okay, I bridge. I take it away. Comes back. I take him here. I see I still my structure. See I still stay concave. My knee's still in the tailbone. So whether we're on this side or that side now, it doesn't matter. Okay, I kip. Okay, or he smashes this back. So I go the other way. And we look to kip that side. The point is the same. Whether on this side or this side, my knees are together, my knees are fine, the tailbone, I'm concave, and I'm looking to bring my knee on the inside. Okay, so it's nothing different than what you just did, except y'all might have been using that cross post here. So now we'll want to start experimenting with double hip post, neutral, so that we can go more side to side. Just know the trade-offs. This is more structural, it's more efficient. It's really helpful if you're tired, right? Or you just don't want to play a fast game. You don't want to play an athletic man's game. If you're fresh, who cares? Do whatever you want. But this is more structural. This is really strong one direction. It's a really, really good frame. If someone's gotten it on you and got their elbow to the inside, you know how good of a frame this is. This is, in my opinion, a little structurally weaker and a little more strength intensive, but it gives you the option to hit them with a 1-2 or 1-2-3 or what. And next week, the overhead kipping, we're not taking that way. I'm going to need this grip as well. So just know the trade-offs. There's nothing right or wrong, but know the trade-offs based on like what kind of game you want to play in the moment. All right, let's hit this. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right.